obviously I'm the sheriff now, gonna run again, and the past 4 years, I've accomplished quite a few things that I wanted to accomplish at the sheriff's office that I initially campaigned on. So there's still a lot. It was a huge learning curve for me, and it still is. I'm still learning a lot, and I put the right people. I put the right people in the right places to help me out, and it's really it flows very well day to day. So I'm really happy with that. One thing that I would want to touch on is things like this that really do help all elected officials. And no matter if it's city officials or county officials, any election, we need more of this. And it's like Casey was talking earlier. People have to understand who they're voting for, not just the face or the name or why they're running. They need to listen to the people and understand. And a lot of people don't even understand what the position stands for. And obviously the sheriff is one, but they don't understand the differences. Many times people don't understand the difference between the sheriff and the police, or the sheriff and the deputy. And people don't understand because they don't know, and it's not given to them, or they don't come to events like this. And these are what's going to educate the public. And the elected officials in the county are elected to run the county together. Commissioners, Ds, the treasurer, clerk, we're all elected by the people to run the county together. And people don't understand that you don't really answer to anybody except for the people. And they need to understand what each position stands for. I would almost bet that most of the younger generation, millennials, don't even understand what the dean's office does. And it needs to be explained to them, and they need to attend things like this. And with social media and all these other sites that are out there, it's really helped. And unfortunately, I still don't think people understand. And more of this would be great. And I appreciate what Casey does and everybody else that volunteers for this group, which I was a part of for a brief time, but had some other priorities come up. Anyway, get back to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office, things that I didn't have any clue about that a lot of people don't understand is the jail, what it entails to run a jail with 75 inmates in it. We run at minimum staffing for the most part. We have 30 employees total, sheriffs on the jail side, sheriff's office side, and we have 2 deputies on duty at all times on the road in patrol cars. And that was one thing that I really wanted to get out there and provide more presence in the county when I took office, and it's worked out well. Of course, I don't know if people tell you anything negative about the way you're doing things, but I haven't heard a lot of negativity about the way I'm running the sheriff's office. And part of that's because of the things that I've done and the people that I've put in place to help do it and do it right. And things I campaigned on that I wanted to get done, and we did it. There's a lot more. Unfortunately, the jail population is not decreasing at all right now, so staffing is becoming an issue. But overall, in the last 3 years, we've accomplished things that we want to accomplish, and I want to continue doing that for our community. Anybody have any questions they want to ask?
What would you name the top 3 accomplishments, and then what are some of the top 3 things you'd like to accomplish going forward?
Probably top accomplishment would be retention of employees. For years, I started in law enforcement in 2001 at the city, and the county always had turnover, and it was a new deputy every time you turn around, and nobody in the community knew who they were. And I've lost one deputy to retirement, and he chose that after my first year, and that's fine. After that, I have not lost a deputy. I'm fully staffed. I don't believe that anybody is wanting to leave that I know of, or of course on the jail side, we always have turnover rate. It's just kind of comes with it. Not too many people want to work with much inmates out there. So we have kind of a revolving door of 2 or 3 people. So, but it's that turnover rate has slowed down as well. So that'd be one. 2 would be to have more deputies on the street at all times, and that was that's by retaining employees. You don't have an empty spot. So we have 2 doesn't seem like a lot for a county our size to get out to the western side of the county, to the county line, Jackson County line. You're talking 40 miles, 40 minutes. So coverage is definitely an issue. That's how I feel a lot of times. But they get out there. I hear from people all around the county that they see deputy cars. And the third thing would be the deputy vehicles. I've caught a little flack from the public about new vehicles, but we have to have reliable vehicles to patrol the county, and they have to be visible. People don't know that there's a law enforcement officer out there. They don't know that they're there. So if you have an unmarked car, they don't know that the police are there. And I heard that a lot during my campaign. That I never see deputies' cars. Well, they had 3 or 4 unmarked vehicles without light bars on top or stickers on the side. Just marking the car up as it's a deterrent, and people see it and they appreciate it.
I have a question. There were a couple commissioners that have voiced so far a couple of different things. Is one, they would like to see that the courthouse/jail becomes a secured facility for just that, any legality manners. Like they wouldn't have the register of deeds and the treasurer's office and those open to the public when you're transporting inmates up and down from the court and stuff. So they wanted to secure that. And then right after he spoke and mentioned that was one of his goals, then I read an article in the Globe that an inmate got loose in the courthouse. So I was wondering how your thought process is on that. That was one from one commissioner. The other one was the same thought process, but combining city police up there with you. So basically that whole courthouse would be law enforcement.
You're right.
So
that discussion's been around for probably since my start up there, and it's is it feasible for a big price? In my opinion, the courthouse, we've all been in the courthouse. It's time for an overhaul. I mean, it probably looks the same as it did 40 years ago. And security 40 years ago was a lot different than security now. With the new gun laws and things, that's kind of where this all came from. When the carry conceal in public building came about, they asked my opinion of should we try to ask for the exemption so we can secure the doors, things like that. I was opposed to it. And the reason is if the bad guy can carry a gun in, why can't the good guy? And because we don't have the security measures or the means to check every single person's bag and person as they come into the door. We'd have to secure one side of the courthouse, one door, probably the east door, have everybody come in the north side and run bags through a baggage scanner, run everybody through metal detectors. That not only takes probably about $200,000 worth of equipment, that takes 2 to 3 people to man that at all times. So you have 2 guys stationed at the door checking that and coming in. You also have to consider when you have vacation, sick time, things like that, you have to have somebody to be able to cover. So we have taken a minor step by hiring a court security officer, which he's currently attending the academy right now, but he will be back and he will be in the courtroom. So that's one thing that the commission and I discussed last budget season, and we've been able to implement it and get it started at least. It's simply just police presence, basically, is all it is. But as far as moving all law enforcement up there, that's going to be an awfully big project that the city and the county is going to have to work together to try to accomplish that. There's
probably 5 years ago, and it was about a $3 million project. So,
I'm just curious,
I
when
think-
you hear
I think
that as something that the commissioners are saying they're gonna accomplish, it's just, I like to see if it's actually obtainable or not.
I don't wanna take anything away from what they're saying, but in my opinion, there's a lot of little things that we'd have to think about. Where do the police officers park? Where do they enter at? Where's their office gonna be? Where are we gonna move the dean's office to? Where are we gonna move the, you know, there's a, I think, I'm currently, right now, I'm enrolled in the public management center at KU, and I'm taking basically it's a leadership class called Command School, and they discuss doing projects like this. Lenexa Police Department has a instructor a captain that is one of our instructors, and he has discussed with us like some of these big projects that they've done in Lenexa, which they have the staffing, they have the money, and they can get as many resources as they need because they have so many people and money and so much money. But the amount of people that go into these big projects, I mean, they can get it done probably a third of the time that we could with the amount of resources that we have. Something like that, I think you're talking some major overhauls up there. You know, I don't want to say too much about the courthouse, but you can visually see the issues if you just walk around the courthouse. So that would be it would be definitely something to discuss, and I think it would be. I think if I had my child with me going to pay my taxes, and this inmate's running down the hallway like he was the other day, and I will say he had shackles and handcuffs on, so he didn't make it very far. It's just when you're bringing 2 or 3 inmates down at a time, you kind of have to, he wasn't moving. So, but that's not a good situation. So, no matter what, and that's a staffing issue, and I think with the court security that can kind of help as well, because he'll be able to escort some of those guys as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Are there any more questions?
Jack?
Yeah.
I know when you was elected 4 years ago, you did away with the reserves. Are you still feel there's not a need for them in the county today?
Actually, I did not get rid of the reserves. The reserves got rid of me. So I had nothing to do with that. I've remained pretty silent on that since it happened, because it's water under the bridge, really. But I was left with zero money and zero equipment, and there was a lot that left out the door. So Pat Henderson was handling a little bit of that, and I just kind of let it go. I had other things to worry about, and that wasn't anything I did away with. I will say this: I have no intentions of bringing reserve deputies back after all the issues in law enforcement today. It's just too much liability, and it's expensive. Body cameras, all the requirements, all the equipment, and the liability of itself is it just doesn't. It's not on my radar.